All right, the Sunday night game, Buccaneers at the Raiders. The line opened up Buccaneers -2. It's up to either 3 plus 105 or -2.5 minus 125. I listed 3 here, so just to make it easier. So who do you like in this game?
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. I think I like the Raiders. I just think that the Raiders, the Raiders offense just matches up well with the Bucs defense. Like they have a pretty good offensive line that I think can negate some of the pass rush pressure from the Buccaneers. One of the reasons they did so well against Aaron Rodgers was that they were able to pressure him very early in the downs and, cover his receivers long enough that he wasn't able to make a play. I think that's going to be a little bit harder for them to do against a Raiders team coming off a bye where their line should be full strength. I know we're waiting on, I think Trent Brown's been dealing with an injury this year. So we got to see if he can play. But I think that offensive line issue could, or that offensive versus defensive line could actually go in favor of the Raiders. And the Raiders have played well on offense this year. They torch the Chiefs, who don't have the same type of defense as the Buccaneers. But if they can block well and give Derek Carr time and, get the ball downfield to Henry Ruggs, I think they're going to have a chance to move the ball on the Bucs and keep pace in what could be an offensive battle here. The other thing that concerns me is this is a game in Vegas, so you got the Vegas distraction for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that they could also become flying too high after they just absolutely demolished the Packers, who were considered to be one of the best teams in the NFL and were still undefeated when they went into Tampa Bay. So I think this could be a classic letdown spot for the Buccaneers. I still think they could win, but if we're getting 3 points, I'll be on the Raiders here. I'm not going to bet that heavily because I hate doubting Tom Brady, especially in prime time. So I'm not going to – I don't have a unit count yet. I'm curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, this is one of my least favorite games on the slate. I think it's priced correctly. I think the most likely result of this game is Tampa Bay winning by 3. So I think that at -3, I wouldn't bet this. If this were a -2.5 and, you don't have to pay a lot of big, then I think that you can at least think about betting the Buccaneers here. But my concern is what you said. I just don't think this is a good spot for the Buccaneers. A big win on national TV against the Packers. Now they have to go to Vegas, which is going to be a distraction, we assume, for most teams. It wasn't for Buffalo, by the way, but give the Bills credit for that. So maybe the Buccaneers will stay focused, but maybe they'll go out and bet a lot of money at the casinos and just be distracted. So that could definitely happen. We don't know. If this were a late afternoon game or something like that, like a kind of a game that's not on the radar, I think I would be more inclined to consider the Raiders. But the fact that this is a nationally televised game, I think that's going to be some added incentive for the Buccaneers. So I'm more willing to take the Buccaneers here, especially if it's -2.5. At -3, it's kind of like a coin flip. I still think I'm just going to side with Tom Brady. As I wrote on the site, if you've been betting against Tom Brady, you're probably living in a cardboard box right now. Just because his spread record throughout his career is just amazing. 187 and 128 against the spread in his career. So why bet against that unless you have a great reason to? Also, it's kind of like shorting GameStop, by the way. So I think that I don't want to bet against Tom Brady. I could see picking against him for office pool purposes, but I'm just going to side with Tampa here.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably one of my least favorite games too. I think you're right. It's correctly priced, and literally all our commenters except one have said stay away from the most part. We do have one gung-ho on the Bucs here. I think that I'm going to stick with the Raiders for now. But, if this line changes, I may switch back to the Bucs. But this is a no bet for me. I won't bet against Tom Brady in most circumstances anyway. But even if I'm picking against him in a game I don't like, it's definitely a no bet.